we can use z-scores to estimate probabilities that certain events will happen. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this example down here involving some videos that are being uploaded onto some kind of video sharing website, and we're given some data with that. To estimate probabilities, it's a two-step process. The first step is to calculate your z-score for your given scenario. Now, we've taken a look already at how to find z-scores. If you want to go back and watch one of those videos to refresh, that might be a good idea. So let's go ahead and calculate the z-score for this. We want to find specifically what's the percent of days of the probability that we upload less than 150,000 videos. And so to do this, our x in this formula is our point of data. So our x this time is going to be the 150,000 videos we're interested in. We're then going to subtract mu. That Greek letter mu right there represents our average, our mean score. I can see that that mu value, that average number of videos uploaded, were 181,099 videos. And then I'll divide by sigma, which represents our standard deviation. We're given that value as well, this 3,644 value. All right, so not a fun one to do by hand, but hopefully you have a calculator out there, and that's not a big deal at all then. Once you do this, you end up with a z-value, a z-score, of approximately negative, because we're below the mean this time, 150,000, negative 0.87. Always round these to two decimal places, because what we're going to do next is going to require those the two values of the decimal places. So that was step one, calculate the z-score. Let's take a look at how step two is going to work. In order to finish this question then and find our probability, we're going to go ahead and use the z-table you were provided in class. Now, it may not be super easy to see on this screen, but I'm going to walk you through how this works so you can take a look at your z-table at home and make sure it's working out for you. So the way this will work, you're going to start by looking down the vertical column, and you'll be looking for the first decimal, well, the first two digits, I guess, in that column. So we're at negative 0.8. So find your z-table, make sure on the negative sign, and keep looking down until you see the negative 0.08. Alright, so that's part one. Next up then, you'll take your second decimal place, the third digit, and you'll then look across the horizontal column. That's why we want two decimal places. And that second decimal or third digit was was 7, or they label it as 0.07 because it's the second decimal place. So where those two things then intersect, you get what I mean, I'm not saying it great, you get what I mean. Where those two values intersect, then you'll see this number. Again, if you can't see this on here, hopefully you're looking at your z-table at home, and that value I see there is 0.1922. And what that number represents is the probability that you are less than, which is what we were going for. This time we wanted to be at 150,000 videos or less. That number right there would represent your probability, or your percentage of days where that would happen. So if I translate that into a percentage, I'll multiply by 100. I'm going to say approximately 19.22% of the time. And if I go back and look at the question then, about 19.22% of the time, we expect to be uploading less than 150,000 videos. So in our next couple of videos then, what we'll be taking a look at is what to do if you aren't looking for less than, what to do if you're looking for more than or in between. But if you are looking for less than, it's just going to be that number you find in your z-table where your two columns and rows intersect right there.